Hey guys, and welcome back to the Chaotic Kids channel, where I am Michelle, document my life here on YouTube as I try to become a full-time author while also traversing the world's multiple personalities. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around. But today we are going to kind of do, I guess, part of Preptober, but also like rereading what I had already previously written for the JJ story, getting ready to do the rough draft challenge. So let's get into it. Okay, so today is Wednesday, the 29th of October. I told you guys I was going to do this from Monday until Wednesday and then have the video up on Thursday. That's not happening, mostly because I still don't feel motivated enough to write. It's, I don't know, I'm just struggling over here. And like, if I do write, I usually write in my journal and I don't have energy to write anything else. So I'm like, that's not necessarily good. I need to write in everything, or at least write two projects besides just my journal. So what I think I'm going to do is write in my books in the morning and then journal in the evening if I feel like it. So that's the game plan. But yeah, we're working on JJ's story, and this is kind of like my preparation for the Rough Draft Challenge, which, if you guys do not know, I'm planning on participating in the Rough Draft Challenge. Basically, I'm going to be writing 30,000 words in the month of November. My secondary goal would to be write 30 chapters. I really don't think that'll happen because I don't think I can write a chapter a day, but I could be wrong. Yeah, so that's the game plan. I am working on one of my pen name Grace's stories. JJ is a young adult Christian fiction book with some coming of age storylines. Basically, what I can tell you is it is about a boy who was not born and raised Catholic, but now that his grandfather is back in his life, who is a priest, he's got to go back and, like, he's not got to go back, but he's kind of forced into the whole Catholic faith situation. And I think I have some ideas on how there's going to be some drama, but I'm not 100% sure. But currently I'm at 19,000 words in the story. I am planning on editing what I have written. So I've got 12 chapters written. I'm on chapter 13 to start writing, but I'm going to kind of go back to the basics. Really think about, like, okay, this is what I want the story to be. This is some attributes that I want, and things like that. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. To start off with, I think I'm going to. I don't want to reread what I already have written because I feel like that'll influence what I want to do. So I am going to kind of do some googling about different, like, is it possible for a priest to have a son kind of thing. Um, just because I'm like, I don't want that to be a plot hole, but also this is a work of fiction, so I'm like, does it matter? But I don't know. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to start off with and just search up some random things and stuff. So, yeah, let's get into it. So I just spent the last like 30 minutes going a downward spiral of trying to plot out what's all going to happen in this series, and I'm just like, I need to stop. I need to remember why I write, and I write for the fun of just telling the story to myself. As much as I want to be a plotter, I can't. I cannot plot what's going to happen in my stories. Like, it doesn't really matter who in my system is talking. Like, we just cannot plot our stories because at the same point, there's so many of us that we all have to be able to enjoy the story, you know? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, as much as Grace wants it to happen like this and try to throw all of these different, like, not expeditions, but like all these different plot ideas, it sounds overwhelming to other people in my system, and I'm like, you can't have, like, I don't know how to, like, you can't have overwhelming details, but also you have to make it subtle, and it's just a complicated mess. And I'm just like, okay, Grace, I get where you're coming from, but we also just have to tell the story and be enjoyable for everybody because you're not always going to be writing the story, if that makes sense. Like, there's going to be several of us who are going to be working on the story at different stages. And like we'll have notes, we have rough ideas. Grace is kind of in the background as we talk and like as we write. So it's just like we have to work as a system to make it work. And like that's just how we are creatively. Like I can't express this enough. Like as much as we want to be a plotter, we are a pantser because we just have to enjoy the story that we're telling. And I'm just letting everybody know, like, it is okay if you are a pantser. Like, just let the words flow. Don't try to stronghold yourself into one specific thing. Just enjoy the words. Because that's all that matters. And, like, as long as you enjoy the story, yes. And if you enjoy the story, other people will enjoy the story. And, like, of course, you'll have those people who don't enjoy the story, but at the same point, you have to be proud of the story that you told. Does that make sense? So I'm just like, I get where Grace is coming from, but I also am like, I need to just tell the story my way. If that makes sense. I don't know. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to probably edit 2 to 3 chapters of the book and just of what we've had previously written, implement some changes that we have ideas for, because there are some new ideas that we had spur of the moment. Well, not spur of the moment, but like as we were processing and reading. And so we're just trying to work things out, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of all I got to say. I will talk to you guys before I go for lunch break. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye. I also had this thought before I started writing. I am a little, like, as I'm sitting here spiraling down my, like, thought process and stuff, I'm like thinking, is it a smart idea to write this novel, like this young adult series, as a series? Like I don't know, like if that is making sense, but like JJ's story and the whole Moving to Scripture series is all a story in itself. Like I imagine it taking like one school year, or maybe 1 or 2 school years, and maybe some after time, like for each character to tell their story, if that makes sense. And like they're like all these stories are interconnected, and I'm just like, is that a smart idea for this like indie publishing house? Or like, so I'm wanting to get an agent with this series, so then I can get like an indie publishing house or a traditional publishing house that has a Catholic, Christian, I don't know, second, like a branch of it kind of thing. I don't know what it's actually called. So I'm like, is that a smart idea? And I'm just like, I'm thinking, and I'm like, should I just write one book? But I'm like, I can't write one book. Like, as much as I would love to just be able to write one book and call that done, like, that is the end of that series, like, I can't. Like, the Bugstopia series, like, I expected that to be 26 books, one for each letter of the alphabet, all being a standalone. That whole first season of books is not a standalone. It is, those 6 books are part of a series. And then books 7 through 14 are part of a series. And then books 15 through whenever I get done is part of a series. Like, there's, or what I call seasons. Like, there's a season of books that tells a series of stories. Like, I don't know. And, like, this series with Grace's projects, I am trying to make them standalones, but also be an interconnected series. So I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. And, like, part of me is like, since I'm wanting to get an agent with this and try to do this, like, traditional publishing route, I'm like, will they accept it? But I'm also like, at the same point, with Grace, I'm wanting to help with the picture books and not necessarily the novels. But at the same point, I'm like, I want, like, if I do traditional publishing, like, I'm just going to say traditional publishing, but, like, if I do traditional publishing with the picture books, then I feel like it's only right to do that with the novels, too. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. It just feels all interconnected. Always interconnected with me. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm second guessing things, and then I'm also like, I'm itchy because I had to help my dad cut down some tree branches, and I'm just like, I am overstimulated. I am overstimulated and need to take a chill pill. Yeah, so I'm going down this downward spiral. But I'm hopefully going to try to just decompress and let all these thoughts in my head right now just kind of go to the wayside or at least like go in the back burner or go into like the little rooms in our head that like is closed off to just spiraling, or just going to in those rooms to just talk it out with others, and just let grace come out and write, because that is at the end of the day what we want to do. And like considering November starts in like 2 to 3 days, we're like, we need to buckle down and get ready for it. So yeah, we're gonna stop rambling. We are going to get into writing. We want to get to chapter 3 before lunch. Then after lunch, we'll go to grandma's. Maybe after that, we'll get back into writing and get to chapter 6. I don't know. That's a game plan. Let's get into it. Hey guys, today is October 30th. It is a Thursday. So, basically what I was going to tell you guys is, so yesterday I worked on the edits for chapter 1. I added like 464 words to the story. It was all right. But I kind of like half worked on the second half of the book. Well, second half of the chapter. And I was like, I need to like have the same like internal rapid thoughts from the beginning of the chapter into the ending of the chapter, and I would like to have those like rapid internal thoughts throughout the entire story, which is going to beef up the story, but it is like how JJ thinks and processes the world. Mostly because like his brother describes him as a pansy and scaredy cat, so it's just like he's always internally in his head. So I added 464 words yesterday, and today I added 825 words. And I'm just like, okay, this is like this area I want it to be. And I just did the word count on Google Docs, how much it is, and it's over 3,000 words long, which I'm like, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Because I'm like, yes, I want the story to be big, but am I adding too much to it? I don't know. But I will have an editor edit over it before I send it off to to an agent, But also I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to get through 13 chapters of this book by the time that November rolls around. So I think I'm just going to continue editing it, but I'm going to continue editing it, but just solely work on this book for the month of November. Yeah, I think that's the game plan. I'll still be keeping track of words. I usually write it down on note cards for Grace's books, and I just word like the starting word count, the ending word count, and how much I added to it. So that's the game plan. I don't even know what time it is. I still have plenty of time to write edit chapter 2, so that's what my game plan is. Yeah, that's the game plan. I don't think I have anything else to update you guys on. So I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye. Hey guys, fair warning, I'm sort of here, sort of not here. There's a lot of chit chat going on up here. But so today I'm going to close out today's video. Today's actually November 1st. Haven't done any writing, but I was going to kind of wrap up of the last like 3 days I've been doing stuff, I guess. I don't know. Basically, I haven't really been doing too much writing right now. Maybe it's because I'm prepping for November, or it's just because I'm lazy and don't want to do it. Probably a little bit of both. But so Wednesday, I started editing book JJ's story. Got 464 words in the story added to chapter 1. Then on Thursday, I edited 1,185 words, and that was worth 2 chapters of editing. I redid chapter 1, and then I did chapter 2. Basically, I wanted to get the whole book done by November 1st. That just wasn't gonna happen. I had 13 chapters. I had like 19,000 words to go through, and it just wasn't gonna happen. Especially for somebody who had Halloween coming up, and then on Thursday, I didn't have to, but I wanted to spend time with my family, as my aunt was up, and also my sister was up with the kids, so I'm like, I wanted to spend time with them. So yeah, when Friday was a bust, Thursday was kind of a bust, but I still did some writing. And Tuesday and Monday I wanted to start the video, but I also didn't. And those 2 days I didn't do any writing either. So I've just been a little slow. But hopefully for the month of November, I will actually be able to get into my mojo and actually do some writing. Yes. My goal still will be 30,000 words. It'll just be me editing the story plus writing. I think my game plan is to edit 2 chapters a day. So if I do that, I think I'll be done with it on the 7th, I think. Get done editing on the 7th. Or that's at least my goal, is to get that done by the 7th. And then start fresh writing. I think with my fresh writing too, I'm planning on doing like 3 writing sessions in that day. So like, unless I'm working, and then it might just be a non-go day. I don't know. But so I want to first write the preliminaries, because I feel like my first chapter is just like a rough idea of what the chapter is going to be about. Then the second one is going through and adding some details. And then the third one's going to be adding some more details, which I'm like, maybe pushing 3 writing sessions a day in the same chapter might be a bit much. So I might edit the chapter, like say I'm working on chapter 13, just do the preliminaries and the first round of edits, wait a day, then do the second round of edits, then move on to chapter 14 and do those 2 edits / writing, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say. I am currently, the word count that I'm going to be starting with for November is 20,838 words. Basically, my goal is to write 50,000 words, or get to 50,000 words in the story. I don't really know what else to say about that. 50,000 words sounds like a lot of words right now. Especially since I've spent so much time working in the Bugstopia books. Like, I was going to have to get up and get one, but I forget I have them on my desk. Like, these picture books are 20,000, I mean, not picture books, these chapter books are 20,000 words long. And I'm like, these feel, like I can write these in a month, but I'm like, 50,000 words in one story sounds so crazy to me. But I'm like, I've done it before, why can't I do it again, kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what that part was about. But that's all I gotta say. I hope you guys will stick around for this journey, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye.